back on Countdown to Kickoff, Action 4 Sports look at the upcoming high school football season. Glad you stayed with us for this one because this is a biggie. Back in February, when the UIL realigned all the football teams, they created a 9-team 5A district down in the Valley made up of 7 teams that had been to the playoffs in the previous year. You heard me right. 7 out of the 9 teams in District 31 5A were in the playoffs last year. Coach is already calling it the meat grinder. Let's take a look.
District 31 5A.
When you're looking at a team coming back, just my philosophy, you got to have an offensive line, you got to have a secondary. If you're solid in both of those areas, you got a chance to be pretty good.
So you're saying there's a chance. Mac High coach Tony Harris' philosophy working for the Bulldogs, who returned one of the best 2 cornerbacks in South Texas, along with an offensive line that averages over 6 feet, 275 pounds. That kind of size is a game changer for McAllen.
There's some advantages to having a big offensive line. You can flex your muscles a little bit more and don't have to be so much finesse, and we've been a lot of finesse here lately. So we're thinking we can push people around a little bit. You know, the bad thing is I get a crick in my neck yelling at them because they're so much bigger than everybody we've ever had. We're excited. We're not very big on defense, but they'll run around and they'll hit you. That's a good thing.
It's his turn to get back in there and be that field general that we want him to be that leader on defense, let him roam from sideline to sideline.
After 2 years as a down lineman, All-State defender Garrett Sharp returns to middle linebacker for McAllen Memorial. The Mustangs will depend on their defense early in the season while breaking in a new quarterback and running back in the Valley's toughest district, behind, though, an extremely gifted O-line.
You had inexperienced skilled people and inexperienced offensive line, you're in trouble usually. But we feel like with our offensive line being what it is, our skilled people have a chance to get caught up in a hurry.
We have to do better. We need to do better than last year. I mean, that's how everybody looks at it here.
If you can't take a challenge, I'll take it as a challenge. If you're not up for a challenge, you probably need to get out.
We got to approach practices, with an end in mind, as far as the state championship, district playoffs, district championship.
The goals are set at McAllen Rowe, not only a return to the playoffs in the Valley's toughest district, but hardware as well. The offense is set for an assault on 31 5A as Mighty Might Javi Obregon returns at quarterback with his favorite target, Tawny Bimpong, all behind yet another great O-line in the city of Palms.
We've been together since 8th grade, and we've got chemistry with each other. We have 4 returning starters, so that should be good. We all have experience, and we're looking forward to hitting other D-line.
With them being so big too, we think we can create some openings and balance out our pass and run attack, and from there, just as you said, by the time the 3rd or 4th quarter, hopefully we're controlling those trenches.
Every team in the state of Texas right now has their eyes on week 11, and we're certainly no different. So everybody wants to extend their season as long as they can, and if we do what we can during weeks 1 through 10, then hopefully we've got a chance to play week 11.
PSJA High has a new football coach with a new system, but looking for the oldest of results, winning. Rich Lucero joins the Bears after stops in Houston as well as the college ranks and brings a big change. PSJA drops the wing T after more than 20 years, and the Bears take to the air in the spread offense.
It's great. It's something different. Other teams aren't going to be ready for it, and it's going to be exciting.
In the past, maybe 2 or 3 guys might be featured. In our offense, we like to spread the ball around and more guys get a chance to, to touch the ball. So I think they're excited about that part.
Last year they doubted us when we went to the playoffs.
People doubt us a lot, but we know what we got to do. We work hard. That's why people underestimated us last year.
We made it to the playoffs 2 years now. We're going to make it 3 now.
When I first got here, I told the kids, in order to do something you've never done, you got to work harder than you've ever worked. Now that they've been to the playoffs, they know what it takes.
PSJ Memorial making the playoffs will stop being a surprise to people at some point. Until then, underestimate the Wolverines at your peril. Coach Gus Cavazos believes this defense is the best he's had since landing in Alamo, and Manny Mancias to Jaime Borrego is the Valley's best quarterback-wide receiver combo, period.
Him and Jaime Borrego have such a great relationship that if something breaks down, they kind of know where they're going to be. And so I think, Manny right now coming into this year, the sky's the limit for him.
You got to stay on your feet when you're making hits. Pass rush. We need to make a lot of turnovers this year.
get some picks for our secondary, make our coaches look good.
A defensive line like PSJ North's always makes the coaches look good. Tackle Rudy Chapa leading the way for the silver and black attack, perhaps the strongest D in the Valley. Meanwhile, Coach Bruce Bush has handed the keys to the Raiders offense to senior quarterback Ryan Guerrero after getting his shot after 3 seasons of preparation.
Ryan is a hard worker. He's a kid that's really grown up the past year and matured, and he deserves this opportunity, and I've got a lot of confidence in him. I think the key word, he's a winner.
We've added a little bit of spread in there. Hopefully we'll run it, and let's see how that goes and if it can help us out during the season.
I've been around a long time. People said, Coach, looks like we're throwing it a lot more this year. And I used to say, no, we're just catching it a lot more this year. We got guys that can catch the ball.
I think that's everybody's problem in the Rio Grande Valley is, they're pretty dadgum good with their number ones, but their backups aren't as good. We're fortunate enough that we've got 2 or 3 guys that we think can plug in. They're in the backup role right now, but if somebody were to go down, we think we can plug them in and still win a football game with them.
Depth without drop-off. It's every coach's dream. Spencer Gantt has it at San Benito. He also has his next quarterback selected as Jason Jimenez takes over for the Greyhounds under center.
He does a great job running the football. He's got great feet. He's very elusive. He may be, and if Jacob's watching this, don't get your feelings hurt, but he may be a better passer than Jacob Puente. So we're excited about that.
Knowing what it takes to win and the experience that we've had in the playoffs is going to be very, very important, and I think a big factor in how we do this year.
For the first time in years, Weslaco East goes into a season without being the district favorites. And why? Just going up from 4A to the 5A ranks doesn't seem like a good enough reason for the Wildcats to start suffering hard times, and the players agree.
As of right now, we're considered underdogs. We're out here working, trying to prove them wrong.
I know it's 5A, but I mean, it's still football. It's just a bigger school to play.
They're just as hungry. They are not going to be the ones to let this tradition go down.
Donna, Ed Couch, East, playing East for the first time. I mean, we have the lineup. I mean, we have the best schedule West Coast had in a couple of years.
If we can survive the first 3 games, hopefully we can make a little run, but those first 3 games are going to make us or break us, I think.
Rivalry games litter Weslaco's 2012 schedule, from the renewal of the blood feud with Donna to the new crosstown matchup with Weslaco East, a Mid-Valley Classic with Ed Couch Elsa, and a playoff rematch with McAllen Memorial. For the Panthers to survive the emotional and physical roller coaster, the slot T will have to be run to perfection by new quarterback Clay Jones.
Our quarterbacks, he's got to be one of the smartest kids. Hopefully he's in this case, Clay's one of our fastest kids, and he's got to be able to fake and handle the offense and read secondaries, and he does all that.
You know, it's the most harsh offense to follow and try to get because there's so much misdirection stuff, and I got to be the most important part of that because I got to trick everyone to thinking the ball's going to 3 different guys at one time, including myself as a 4th guy.
District 31 5A.
Hey, we are back on Countdown to Kickoff. Spencer Gantt, head coach of the San Benito Greyhounds here. We were just talking about his district, 31-5A. We're calling it the meat grinder. I mean, what were your thoughts when you looked at it, when the UIL opened up the packages and there's 7 playoff teams, including your own, standing there in a 9-team district? What were your first thoughts?
I don't know if I can say that on air, my first thoughts, but I was excited about it. I told the guys that were with me, my coordinators, Dave Evans and Mark Evans, I said, here we go, boys, let's strap it on. It's going to be a good one. So we're excited.
It's kind of across the board. You can't really say there's any like one kind of team because there's teams that air it out. There are teams that love to do it on the ground. You've got all sorts of teams to be ready for. I guess that's probably a great way to get ready for the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely, and it is a hodgepodge of different offenses and different defenses. It's stuff that we've never seen before, and from 32-5A, which is what we're coming from. So it's going to be tough week in and week out. Just the preparation and getting ready and getting the players ready, but we're up to the challenge. We're excited about it.
The name of the show is Countdown to Kickoff. Your team is counting down to kickoff. You guys have got Los Fresnos this week. How is it? How are you getting ready? And you ready for the big kickoff to start the season?
Well, I don't know if we're ready quite yet. I mean, we struggled last night. We had a scrimmage over in La Jolla. We didn't get the whole scrimmage in. There was a failure with the lights, so we didn't get a whole lot of snaps last night. I think that puts us at a disadvantage. At the same time, we've been prepping these kids all the way back from spring football, and and you know, you just roll with the punches, and then that's the hand you're dealt, and you deal with it and move forward. And you know, we started preparing for Los Fresnos today, and you know, I guarantee you by Friday night we will be ready.
What do you do anything different because you didn't get the full scrimmage in? Do you do anything different with your preparations, or is it just a regular game week?
We talked about that today, and definitely we're going to open it up in practice this week, and we're going to get our scrimmage time in, even if it's against us. So, you know, we hadn't planned to go a whole lot of live stuff. We hadn't planned to go a whole lot of good on good, but that's going to change. Come Monday, we're going to open it up, and we're going to get after each other and get ready for game speed.
All right, fantastic. That is Spencer Gantt, the head coach of the San Benito Greyhounds, joining us as he gets ready to go into District 31-5A, the new one. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate you, Clay.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach Gantt, and we are coming right back. We're going to talk more about 31-5A with Eladio Jaimes of the Valley Morning Star and RGVSports.com when we come back on Countdown to Kickoff on Action 4 Sports.